Good morning and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you my top 5 tips when it comes to Zwifting for beginners. Tip number 1 is all about setting up for Zwift, and there are a few really important things not to miss out to make your Zwifting experience much more enjoyable. Outside of putting your bike on the turbo trainer and setting up your laptop, Apple TV or whatever it is that you're using to use Zwift, there are a few key things that you don't want to miss out on. Firstly is a towel. As you can see, I've got mine set up right here. Indoor cycling gets extremely hot and extremely sweaty, hence why the Zwift currency is known as drops or sweat drops. Having a towel on your handlebars not only protects all of the key bits of your bike from sweat, but it's also quite pleasant being able to wipe your face, your shoulders, your hands, just to keep yourself feeling a little bit fresher rather than being absolutely drenched in sweat. However, we can also reduce the amount we're going to sweat rather than just cleaning it up. Working on ventilation wherever you are, opening windows, I've got a big door, just to allow airflow through will greatly help with your temperature control while on the turbo. And if you turbo without a fan, then I don't know what you're doing, but consider investing in a fan because it will make the experience significantly more enjoyable, and get the most powerful fan you can. Because even an extremely powerful home fan won't come close to the amount of ventilation you get when you're riding along the road at just an average speed. And don't forget to replace all of that water that you've lost. Before you start on Zwift, set up your bike and put a few bottles on it. For an hour ride, I normally use at least 1 litre of liquids. So for me, that's 2 half-litre bidons on the bike, plus another water bottle somewhere close by. Tip number 2 is also something you might want to do before hopping on the bike, and that's downloading and setting up the Zwift Companion App. This allows you, when you're riding, to look at your power numbers, where you are on the map, give ride-ons and change the direction you're going. However, it can be used outside of a ride to look at events and workouts, which we'll talk about just in a moment. If you're using Zwift and you're not using the Companion App, you're missing out on a whole another level of it, as it makes Zwifting more enjoyable and easier to do. Now let's talk about the worlds and routes within Zwift. And for my 3rd tip is to keep exploring. Watopia always features in Zwift, but there are 2 Zwift worlds that come and go depending on the day of the week. Within each world, you're going to have different routes, and when you complete a route, you earn extra XP, which is especially important for beginners, as you can level up and start getting those great new bikes. Continually exploring in Zwift is one of the best things you can do, because it keeps you motivated, earns you extra XP, and makes the act of turbo training significantly more enjoyable, so I cannot recommend it enough. My 4th tip is to start creating your own workouts on Zwift. The Zwift workouts that are pre-included in the app aren't terrible, but they're definitely not what I or many coaches would recommend. If you've got a coach, or if you're coaching yourself, you can use the Zwift workout builder to create your own workouts, which is something that I do all the time. By doing structured workouts on Zwift, it makes it even more engaging than it already is. You earn extra XP, you vary it to keep yourself focused throughout longer Zwift rides. Some of my favourite workouts to do on Zwift are things that I can't do on the road really, so focusing on specificity. Doing threshold intervals, so anything from 10 to 20 minutes at FTP is incredibly good in Zwift without having to take any breaks. Or you could focus on some shorter intervals and look for anything between 4 and 8 minutes around your VO2 max, repeating those ones until exhaustion. And my final tip for Zwift beginners is to try out some events. Events are an amazing way to explore Zwift and keep yourself motivated when you don't otherwise feel like training. Sometimes it's really difficult to motivate yourself for a hard turbo session, whether that's shorter intervals or some longer ones, but maybe consider signing up for a Zwift race. I guarantee you're going to go absolutely flat out for most of it. And although that isn't as specific as the training you were otherwise going to be doing a Zwift race and hitting some of the same zones is significantly better than having a planned workout and not doing it at all. Zwift racing will definitely bring out the competitive side of you. However, there are non-race events too, consider going on a group ride or using one of the FutureWorks Zwift Pacer bots, which will ride at a static watts per kg around Watopia. All of these events will help to motivate you and enjoy Zwifting even more. So those are my top 5 beginner Zwift tips. If there's anything I missed, leave it down in the comments below and I'll make sure to read it. If you enjoy this video and would like to see more like it, please consider subscribing as we cover all sorts of triathlon based content. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, all the normal jazz, and I'll see you in the next video.